Soccer versus football didn't have the fireworks we were looking for as USA and England played to a goalless draw today. This is Matchday Live from the 246. I'm your host, Damien Best. Well, joining me on day number 6, Kenneth Onyekwe, our resident football statistician. The new kids on the block, so to speak, Soraya Toppin-Herbert, Director of Women's Football Development in the Bahamas Football Association and current Barbados Senior Women's Team player. Joining her is Roland Butcher, UEFA B licensed coach and former coach at Arsenal Football Club Soccer School. Welcome to the program, good people. Good to see you all. Well, as usual, we will take a break. Then when we come back, Hennessy's red card, the first of the FIFA World Cup and the most costly for Wales. Welcome back to Matchday Live from the 246, all sponsored by Guardian Group. Wales' hopes of reaching the knockout stage of their first World Cup in 64 years suffered a major blow after Iran handed them a 2-0 defeat today. Goalkeeper Wayne Hennessy had been shown a straight red card for racing off his line and fouling Mahdi Karimi in the 84th minute, and Iran took full advantage. As a must-win for both sides in Group B, but it was Iran who came away with the 3 points, compliments Wayne and an ambitious strategy with only 10 men on the pitch. Kenneth, the likes of Gareth Bale and Aaron Ramsey failing to make any impact way before Hennessy was sent off.
Definitely. I mean, Gareth Bale didn't really make much of an impact in the first game until he was fouled and got the penalty. And it was more of the same in this game. Gareth Bale and Aaron Ramsey, they were, pretty much passengers in the game. With Gareth Bale, Casper, he was a ghost again in this game. And, the coach wasn't bold enough to perhaps take out Gareth Bale and also Aaron Ramsey to perhaps change the game because, you said earlier it was a must-win game. And Iran, you could see what Iran did, their coach did. There were 5 players. Iran's coach made 5 changes and positively impacted his side. But Wales went with more of the same, and they limped out quite miserably out of the World Cup.
Well, Roland, Iran have scored 4 goals already at the World Cup, twice as many goals as they managed in any previous edition. Your thoughts on that squad?
Well, I think Iran, obviously, you can see that they've got players in the side there that can score goals. This game today really reveals a very important game for both sides. Wales came off the back with a good result in their first game. Iran not scored. At least Iran had scored 2 goals, so that should be enough to tell Wales that there was a bit of a threat to goal. Very disappointed with Wales' performance there. Thought they were feeling a bit caught by Iran. In the end, Iran got a very good result. The energy levels were up right throughout the game, because even the second goal that won the game was scored by the fullback right in those 9 seconds. So it just showed that the 2 teams, Iran really was the under team.
Soraya, where does this leave Group B? Iran have a date with USA on Tuesday, but Wales have a tough road ahead.
Yeah, I think it creates a very exciting game between the USA and Iran. A lot going on there, both on the field and off the field. So it'll be a very interesting game. And I think it's going to come down to a game of transition moments. I think Iran in especially this game, they've shown that they can play in transition from defense to attack, having scored 2 goals today and having 4 in total. US only managing 1 so far in the tournament. So I think that game is definitely going to come down to who can play the best in transition, who can stop the team trying to play in transition.
And what about the energy of the Iranian players? Definitely in that second half, it was a complete different side.
Yeah, for sure. I think the fact that they ended the game against England with those 2 goals, it gave them that energy coming into this game, and they just played like they were on fire the whole game. I think, scoring 2 goals in the 99th minute, basically, that showed they didn't stop running. I actually, on the broadcast I was watching, they were talking about the heat, and that may have played a part, because I think in the first half, Iran, their defenders, luckily they were playing in the shade. So that may have played some benefit in the second half when Wales was exhausted. They still had legs to run, and mentioned the subs that they made, so they had a lot more fresh legs.
Fantastic. Well, let's move on now to the other fixture. Senegal, well, they got their first win of the tournament after defeating Qatar 3-1 in Group A to leave the host station. So let's take a look at that one. Senegal still face a tall order to qualify for the next round. Their final Group A game is against Ecuador, folks, in Qatar. Well, they've been knocked out in that one. Kenneth, could this be the catalyst for improvement going forward for Senegal after scoring and finally securing that 3 points?
Absolutely, absolutely. West African fans, Senegalese fans, we're all excited with the win because, number one, Senegal showed the same energy and the same purposefulness moving forward against the Netherlands, but they didn't score any goals. But in this game, everything came together. The final passes were beautiful. The assist for the first goal, for the second goal from the corner kick, and also the third goal all came together and with 3 points in the bag and a sighting of the golden ticket to the round of 6, I am definitely sure that Senegal will be putting all their efforts into the final game. And Senegalese fans like Modou Dieng, they are really looking forward to that game because they believe that Senegal can go very, very far in this competition. And we West Africans want to see them go far.
Oh, definitely looking forward to it. Soraya, Qatar haven't looked World Cup ready at all. Didn't see any signs that they learned from their opening defeat to Ecuador.
Yeah, I think they've just been a step behind in this tournament so far. I think they need a bit more time to get prepared to catch up to the other teams in the tournament. And I think they're starting the tournament off with some history, I guess, because they're the first hosts to be leaving us in the group stage. So usually we're telling the other teams to pack their bags for their flights, but I guess Qatar, they're just staying home and watching. So yeah, a little work for them to do going forward.
Yeah, definitely a tough baptism for them. Roland, the setup for Qatar was all wrong, you believe. Not really too adventurous looking for those 3 points.
Yeah, very disappointed with the performance of Qatar. They knew exactly what would happen if they lost this game. They were steering, going out to the competition. I really expected that they would have gone all guns blazing. And if you go down, you go down with a fight. But right from the off, you could see that they were not going to play that way. They set up 5-3-2, which is pretty defensive in a game that you must win. Senegal, on the other hand, operated with a 4-4-2, much more attacking formation, and dominated the midfield. And at the end of the day, really, Qatar went out with a bit of a whimper because they just did not supply enough ammunition or enough motivation to ensure that they had a chance. Very disappointed in the performance.
Yeah, indeed. We were looking for more from them as hosts. Well, it's now time to take a look, good folks, at our CBC Fantasy Football League after day 6. We have entered match day number 2 of the league after the dominance of Screws 291 during the first phase. Royal Ford, well, things have been changing up. You can see Royal squad there. That's what the Fantasy League looks like if you're interested to know what we've been talking about all this week. It's selecting the players, and then, of course, you are the manager at the different positions. You can do your transfers, all the different stuff, and, of course, organize your squad to suit what you're looking for. So get involved in the CBC Fantasy League by joining the FIFA Plus app. And, of course, you can continue to follow us here on Matchday Live for the updates. Of course, Fairwind 5 with 69 points. Screws is in second with 69 as well. And Satara with 69 is there as well. Damien Best is down in 45th position, struggling. But it's not for the swift. I'll get there. Moving right along, folks. Well, if you want to be part of the show as well, you can WhatsApp us during the program to give your predictions, 228-5562, 228-5563 as well. But we'll take a commercial break. When we come back, more action here on a Matchday Live from the 246. Welcome back to Matchday Live from the 246, all sponsored by Guardian Group. Well, the 2022 World Cup host Qatar would have been watching and hoping that Ecuador would do them a huge favor and beat the Netherlands. However, the Ecuadorians came from a goal down to earn a hard-fought 1-1 draw. to a knee injury. Do they have the reserves to fill the void?
Well. That is a great question. If you heard what the commentator said, Enner Valencia has scored the last 6 goals for Ecuador at the World Cup. And we're not talking about World Cup 2022. We're talking about World Cup 2014 because Ecuador did not attend World Cup 2018. So he scored the last 6 consecutive goals for Ecuador, joining the likes of Oleg Salenko of Russia, Subio of Portugal, and also who's the last man now, and also one other guy, But without Enner Valencia now, who's going to score the goals? Estupian was pretty good, but we've not seen the kind of clinical finishing that Enner Valencia provides to Ecuador from the other players that have been on the pitch. So it's going to be a very interesting development in that game versus Senegal for the ticket for the round of 16. So it's one to watch out for.
Yeah, I suspect Senegal will take a 60% Valencia over anything else. If they can strap him up, tape him up, get him on the pitch, they will try. Roland, Cody Gakpo's goal, second of the tournament, put Netherlands ahead early on. But in the second half, Virgil van Dijk was the holding force, holding that Dutch defense together. What happens when they meet tougher opponents, this Dutch side?
Well, at the moment, you've got to fear for them. I mean, if we thought that the Qatar performance was not a good one, really, the most disappointing performance today really was the Netherlands. I thought the Netherlands, right from the outset, looked to draw this game. If you look at their setup, 5-3-2, and on the other hand, the opposition went 5-4-1. Ecuador looking obviously to be more positive, to be compact in midfield and also to be positive. The Netherlands started very, very slowly. For a side that has given us total football, really, today they gave us no football. And it was a very disappointing performance. All credit to Ecuador, who really fought hard. But I think from the outset, Netherlands were looking for the point. They got the point. They will say perhaps job done. But that's not the way international side like Netherlands really should play the game. So for me, that was quite disappointing.
Yeah, it looks as if some of the teams have got to warm to the occasion going forward. We've got to wait and see. But goalless draws have been a feature of the World Cup so far. And England and the USA played out another stalemate. And of course, the United States have for Christian Pulisic rattled a shot off the bar. You can see all the action there in and around that 6-yard box. Well, as halftime drew to a close, Mason Mount forced a smart save out of Matt Turner. And then the second half petered out with neither side able to create an open look at goal. The United States won a succession of corners, but Harry Maguire dealt with the incoming crosses, and the rest really is history. England will now play Wales in their final group game, while the USA face Iran. All 4 teams can still qualify from Group B. So, Roland, England's 6-2 win over Iran 4 days ago, you would have figured they will be more threatening than we saw today.
Most definitely. Having scored so many goals, you would have expected that England really would have come up today and put on the show. But right from the off, you can see that was not going to be the case. I mean, they sat very deep. They played very, very slowly to start with. Didn't really put the pressure on USA. Didn't go after them. Allowed them to get into the game. And as the game progressed, obviously USA were much more dominant, particularly in the middle of the field where they had some excellent players who dominated the game. And at the end of the day, England were quite lucky really to get away with that draw. So for them, they still got a lot of work to do when they come up against much more competent opponents. I think they will realize that this is not going to be a cakewalk. First game probably was, but the rest of this one is going to be very difficult for them.
Yeah, interesting indeed. Well, the USA were more than capable, Soraya. They look pacey, and perhaps they just lack that finishing touch.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely try to take the game to England. And as you said, I think the piece that was missing was that being clinical in front of goal. I think they're not the only team to kind of suffer from that. I think a lot of teams throughout this tournament so far, they're missing that final finishing touch when they get around the goal. We had a lot that hit the post. The posts have been working very hard in this tournament so far.
You're right.
So I think that'll be the key for them going forward, is being able to get the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, well, Kenneth, back to normal programming for England. We were probably duped after that first game. We were pretty happy and everybody was singing their praises. Now it's a different story in England.
Exactly, because if you look at it, we look at the England's records coming into the World Cup. They had not won in 6 games. So the Iran win was an abnormality rather than the usual. And again, we're back to Gareth Southgate's handbrake football. These guys are, so defensive focused that, my belief is that the team that's going to win the World Cup is a team that's going to go from strength to strength. The Dutch and the English didn't impress us that they are going from strength to strength. Beating Iran 6-2, people were expecting more. People were expecting them to blow away the USA. But rather, they just gave USA the boot into that Iran game because the USA will not feel. I mean, the USA has not kept a clean sheet against a European team since 1950.
Interesting,
and so you can imagine that they feel really good after getting that point from England. And, who knows how the England will handle Wales and if they will go into the round of 16 with on a high or just, limp into the round of 16 and continue with their really negative football.
Well, we got to wait and see. We'll be right back, though, with our play of the day and a look at tomorrow's fixture right here on Matchday Live from the 246. Matchday Live from the 246 continues here on CBC TV8. Well, it's time for our play of the day. Yeah, Gakpo beating the keeper at near post, a fantastic strike. A reminder of tomorrow's matches, folks. In Group D, Tunisia versus Australia at 6 a.m. Then at noon, it's France up against Denmark at noon. In Group C, Poland will battle Saudi Arabia at 9 o'clock. And Argentina will play Mexico at 3. All of the action, of course, on CBC TV8. Well, that Mexico versus Argentina game is going to be a key one, of course. Soraya, you figure Messi will score?
Ooh, I don't. That's going to be a tough game. I think he might, but I think it's going to be a very hard game because Argentina has all to play for, and Mexico would feel excited that they can give Argentina a run for their money. So I don't know if Messi will score, but it'll definitely be a good game.
Well, what about you, Kenneth? What's your pick of the day for tomorrow?
Well, I'm really looking forward to Poland versus Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia has 3 precious points in their pocket. If they can run over Poland and get another 3 points, they are definitely in the round of 16.
Roland?
Well, I believe that first game defeat for Argentina really is just what they needed to kickstart their campaign. I believe tomorrow they'll beat Mexico quite easily, perhaps 3-1. Will Messi score? Most definitely.
Fantastic. We still taking your WhatsApps as well. These messages have been, I don't know, they've particularly been. Somebody asked if Bill was there today. He was missing. Kenneth, I don't know why you want to take that one.
He was on a golf course, but he was just there. I don't know if it was some kind of projection of him, because he wasn't really there today.
Fantastic. Well, let's see, this is the other one. Keep telling you guys this is not a Superstars World Cup. This is a Team World Cup. Well, I think it goes hand in hand. Now, Soraya, don't you think? You have the stars, you play with the team, and that's what makes the stars shine.
Yeah, but I think the teams that are still teams without those stars, and those stars fit into the team, they've been playing better versus the ones that are relying solely on those stars. They've been having a hard time so far.
Well, speaking about stars, I understand Brazil are going to without Neymar for the remainder of their group phase here. That's an interesting development, Roland. Where does that leave Brazil?
Well, I think what it does for Brazil is that it means that somebody has to step into the breach. Obviously, Neymar is a fine player and very much part of the Arsenal, but I'm sure they've got enough within their squad to get into the game and to get to the next round. So he will be missed, but these things happen in football. You know, once you play, there's always a chance to get anything good. It gives an opportunity to someone else, and really, I think Brazil are in a pretty good space at the moment.
Kenneth, you suspect Brazil will be A-OK going forward? That's Barbadians' favorite team.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm the Barbados doctor when it comes to Brazil. There are questions for us to answer to get answers from our next game. Number one, how does the coach feel about losing Neymar? How does he respond in terms of his personnel and tactics? Number two, how does the rest of the team respond? Some people feel that it might be good for Brazil not to have Neymar. Because look, Neymar wanted to do things, but the person that really did things in the attack when the going got tough against Serbia was Vinicius Jr. So, how does Brazil respond in terms of personnel? How does the team chemistry? How do they feel? We want to see how Brazil plays. Do they continue their flair and passion without Neymar? Because some teams feel different without their talisman, and I think I want to see. I want to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, it'll be interesting going forward. Well, we've reached the end of another show here on CBC TV8. This has been Match Day Live from the 246. I want to thank our guests here for joining us today. And of course, tomorrow is another one. Join CBC TV8 to follow all the action. Then we come back here at 8:30 tomorrow to assess all of it. I'm Damien Best. Do enjoy the rest of your evening.